A very good morning to you, my friends. This is Christina here, animal communicator and nature communicator. And I'm so happy to have you here with me once again for a video around animal communication. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that I report from my own experiences as a communicator, but I also give you tips on how you can enhance the communication with your pets and nature if that's something that you're interested in. And that's also what today's video is about. Today, I will give you one of my top tips if you're completely new to animal communication and you would like to be able to get a sort of a message from your pet, perhaps, or get a message from the wildlife around you, or get a message from nature, perhaps even tell them something. So, if you're completely new to the notion that you can communicate, that you can exchange energy, you can exchange messages, thought forms with wildlife around you, with your own animals, with your own pets, then this video is for you. And my top tip is start observing your pets mindfully. So, in order to be able to start receiving messages from them, start by simply observing them. However, that does not mean glancing over to them whilst you're watching TV. It does not mean looking at them whilst you're having a meal and talking about the latest escapades of your pet. It also does not mean necessarily playing with them. It literally means observing them, watching them. And it doesn't have to be for a long time, even if it's just for a few minutes. But observe your animals just with the intention of being with them, not with the intention of telling them anything important, but just really watch your pet, your pets, any animals around you that you might see on a regular basis with the intention of acknowledging them. Certainly send your love to them, but just being with them, watching them, just hanging out with them, so to speak, even if it's just for a short while. But the emphasis here is on focus and intention of just acknowledging them, perhaps telling them how lovely they look, how glad you are that they're in your life, but nothing else apart from that, just really watching them, enjoying being with them. And once you start doing this repeatedly, then the animal will get used to that and will start feeling comfortable to perhaps share something with you. And this could be any animal, by the way, not just cats, dogs, your horse, your rabbit, perhaps, but it could also be a bird, any perhaps foxes that you see, urban foxes that you see on a regular basis, whatever it is that you are curious about establishing a communication and a connection with. And I'll give you an example. Our cat, our beloved cat, passed a few months ago, and before he passed, a few weeks before, when he was still well, luckily he declined very rapidly. When he was still well, another cat appeared in our garden, and this in itself is unusual because we live very rurally, and cats don't just appear. And what's more, nobody seemed to know who he belonged to. I assume he was a beautiful black cat, quite chunky, so I assume it was a male, but it might be a female. And very feral, very wild, very shy. And we only caught glances of him every now and again, maybe once every few days or once a week or something. But because he was just stunning to look at, I made it a point of just really, when I was able to see him out the window, just watching him for a minute or so, sending him my love, telling him how beautiful, attractive he was, and just welcoming him, telling him he was welcome in the garden, he was welcome here, and that was it. And sometimes we wouldn't see him for days. And then as time went by, we're now right now in a period of considering welcoming another cat into our home. So there have been conversations around this. And having not seen this black cat for a while, we thought, well, if he was tamer, we'd be quite happy to perhaps encourage him a bit, maybe being able to stroke him, see if he belonged to anyone. But yeah, he was quite distant. But again, whenever we saw him, we sent our love and watched him, and now having conversations about welcoming another cat into our home. And we just had such a conversation last night. And then this morning, lo and behold, not having seen this cat for perhaps a week, 10 days, I saw the black cat in our garden again. But he was a little bit different. Seemed more relaxed. He was sitting there, just observing. I was looking out of the window, sending him my love as usual. And immediately, the first thing I got back is, I'm still here. I know what you're talking about. I'm still around, just letting you know. So I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. And this was literally a message that came from this cat as he knew, because he looked up, that I was watching him. And I know it was a bona fide animal message because it came immediately, telepathically conveyed to me, don't count me out just yet. I'm still here. I acknowledged this message, again admired him, and then tup, 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 he trotted across our garden as he normally does and disappeared. So this is a very good example of having observed an animal that we know nothing about, but when suddenly you get this clear message back, literally as if someone was speaking to you through thought form, and you know it's from them, and it makes sense as well. So once you start doing this, once you become more comfortable with it, this will happen to you as well. But don't expect too much. Obviously, if you want a full-blown conversation, you may have to train as an animal communicator, like I've done. You may want to look into this. But for now, if you'd like to establish a connection with your animals and just perhaps receive a message back, just do that. Just observe them with the intention of being present with them, with just the intention of enjoying and admiring their presence, being with them as human animal to animal. And sooner or later, they will feel more relaxed and more relaxed. And sooner or later, they will have something to say to you because animals like talking with us. They like interacting with us. They like being heard. They do have opinions. Right. I hope you found this helpful. Let me know in your comments if you've done this yourself, any observations that you've made. And I'll link to a couple of videos below where I'm talking about becoming still, because that's quite important to just drop into your heart, to just block everything else out. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.